What is up, everybody? My name is Hannah Branch. It's your girl. I said that out of order, but I said that because I'm actually extremely excited. Sorry for this to take so long, but I just had to put a special introduction for one of my favorite Captain Underpants comic books. Now, before we begin, immediate disclaimer: I am invoking fair use. Not everything I show in episode is necessarily mine, copyright wise, but I'm going to use it anyway for educational purpose, I suppose. And also content warning. Some of the things in here are pretty touchy subjects. So if you don't want to watch that, go click on another video instead. But without further ado, here it is, Wrath of the Wicked Witch Woman in all of its glory. Let's dive in. So this is George Beard. This is George Beard, and this is Harold Hutchins. They decided that it would be a good idea to hypnotize their mean old principal, Mr. Crap, who's super mean, into thinking that he's their superhero, Captain Underpants. Yes, and they fought many bad guys. You got this big old looking thing, this little diaper man, these talking toilets, a dandelion of doom, there's Professor Poopoo Pants, I think that's one of the aliens. And then he got superpower. And of course he drank superpower juice, so now he got himself some superpower. Whereas in Tra-La-La, whenever someone snaps their fingers, but be careful, because if you pour water in Captain Underpants' head, woof, he'll turn back into Mr. Crop. Oh no. Oh, but remember, this is top secret, so don't tell anybody. Ooh. But in any case, George and Harold are... Actually, this isn't about George and Harold. This is about their teacher. They're Miss Ribble. You know, most teachers are about the 3 R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic. Well, she's more stated what she calls the 3 S's. Sit down, shut your pie holes, and stop driving me crazy! But George and Harold weren't very good at that. The only thing they were good at was getting in trouble. See? Oh my gosh, that bitch. And then Miss Ribble decides to retire. Here, and in celebration, he's forcing everyone to have a retirement party. A retirement party for her with chunky tofu ice cream. And everyone is forced to make happy retirement cards for her using this sucky poem. In case you can't read cursive, it's roses are red, violets are blue, you are retiring, and we'll miss you. Signed, your name here. I'm guessing the your name here is supposed to be metaphorical, but some of these kids are very maliciously compliant. They're supposed to use stencils with yellow butterfly. Even though she makes the erroneous assumption that butterflies can't be purple. I don't know if you can read that, but this is a summarization. So George and Harold decide, screw that noise, we're gonna make her a comic book about her giving us so much homework that she's literally crushed. If it almost nearly dies. Legit. Gains. But then turns into an evil cyborg. Oh, but then he gets transformed into an evil cyborg. Or who makes a dress and becomes the Wicked Wedgie Woman and is bent on conquering the planet. Now I'm gonna leave it to Mr. How exactly Captain Underpants plans to destroy Oh, but the thing to note here is that Captain Underpants' weakness is spray! It's a start! Oh no! And his strength is fabric softener! Hooray! And so, George and Harold get reprimanded for making this ridiculous comment. They go see Mr. Crab, but then Miss Anthrop is all like, make yourselves useful and pass out the Friday memo. So they're all like looking at this Friday memo, and it's like, no practice today. You do the asbestos removal in the gymnasium. Where you show your school spirit by wearing the school colors, gray and dark gray. And Wednesday, cheerleader tryouts today. Was to do the following. Blah 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 blah. Meet the gym after school. Have a mesmerized. Don't forget to resume school. School foot practice wheel scheduled. Pep rally 3:14. And then school yearbooks taken. Just appropriately. No funny faces. Aces. Boring. But George and Harold decided to edit it with the fun. And we're going to see, and you may want to take a moment to sink this in. School canceled Monday. Tuesday, National Wear Your Pajamas to School and Pick Your Nose Day. Wednesday, eat 10. Anyone wishing to join the cheerleader squad must eat 10 whole holes of raw garlic, draw a mustache on their face, and tape a 3-day-old egg salad to their head. Football practice rescheduled. Football players report to the teacher's lounge for early practice, and then food fight 12:15, and then yearbooks for taken. Bumblebee costumes. The funniest face wins a free pizza party for their class. Uh-oh. This could only go so well. Anyways, there's Mr. Crep, scolding for doing absolutely nothing. Harold tricks him into signing blank card. He gets his signature, and now he's going to write something in that card. Harold uses reverse psychology in order to deliver for Miss Ribble the card. Miss Ribble, George and Harold would go to detention and then can't go to the retirement party, which, by the way, sucked. They had to sing like this ridiculous song about how they're going to miss Miss Ribble, and I'm not going to read that out to you. Anyone who can read cursive, you can translate it, but I'm not going to do it. The chunky tongue ice melts. Screen melted. Everyone had to eat it anyway. Miss Ribble got real upset, like a lot of kids, because a lot of kids like messed up, and one kid had to face the wall because she put a happy smiling sunshine on his card. And look how miserable the other ones is. Hey, wait a minute. Anyway, Mr. Crab gives her the card made older to say, "Suck! Horror! You're one hot mama. Will you marry me?" Dun, dun, dun! Look how freaked out he is. Look at that blood. He was not prepared for this. She was not prepared for this. And he couldn't explain himself. All that came out was, and I quote, haba, haba, wah. It was literally all he could see at the moment. And that Saturday, and Miss Anthrop hopped on and said that Saturday they were going to get married. It doesn't look like Miss Ripple's all that thrilled. Yes? Okay. Sorry for the interruption. Anyway, now it comes to the Freaky Weeky. Monday, nobody showed up. Tuesday, everyone is in their pajamas and picking their nose. Wednesday, all the girls smell of garlic and egg and rotten egg sandwiches. Which is the football team. Thursday, football teams and the teachers on wreaking havoc. Kids are having a food fight, and it's a disaster. Everyone's wearing bumblebee costumes for the school pictures and making funny He says, I mean, just look at the detail in those little pictures. Oh my goodness. I think one kid's is even upside down. And it was a freaky weeky, alright? And all Mr. Crump could say about it was, bubba, hubba, bubba, bubba, hubba, whoa. It was about to get even freakier because it's the day, Saturday, the day of the wedding. George and Harold are on their best behavior. You're the rap. I even point. You know how they shouldn't have pranks on them, and they don't. Nothing can go wrong today. You probably already saw it, but I'm just gonna tell you. Miss Ribble, of course, refuses, shouting at the top of her lungs, "No!" And she doesn't want to marry Crump, even though Crump, he's more than unhappy about it. And it turns out it's because of his nose. Ironically, they have the same nose, but we're moving on. Turns out it was George Harold. Mr. Crump reveals it was George Harold. Oh, yeah, you can probably see how this is going. Miss Ribble chases them down. Oh, knocks over Faye. Goes flying. Knocks over the punch watermelon into the punch bowl. And it goes flying. She kicks over this swan, and it flips over the cake. And down goes the cake with a splat onto her head. What a scene. Of course, the book goes in more detail. I highly recommend you read this book in case you didn't. In case you want to see it for yourself, and let's just cover that up. Anyways, next day, Miss Ribble, Monday morning, Miss Ribble is acting rather strange. See, she's smiling, which is not a good sign. You see, she's gonna flung Jordan Harold out of the fourth. She's gonna make them flunk the fourth grade. Oh, no. Wait, is she like their homeroom teacher? Or, let's not question it. Let's moving on. So George and Harold to think of a plan. George decides that he's going to use the 3D hypno rig on Miss Ribble. But Harold's all like, do you remember the time we used it? Like, yeah, we were fooling around last time, but this time we'll be serious. We'll just do... that's all. Famous last words. Anyways, George and Harold get to look at the ring long enough to put under a hypnotic trance. Snap. Oops. Hold on. Snap. He will obey their every command. But breaking news! It turns out the 3D hypno rings actually are not only way too overpowered, but also whenever a woman gets hypnotized, they do the exact... Oops, sorry about that. Dropped my phone there. Okay, anyways. They do the exact opposite of what you asked. This is running a bit long, so we gotta wrap it up quickly. So George and Harold hypnotized Miss Ribble. Huh? Well, into thinking that she's Wedgie Woman, and that she's going to destroy Captain Underpants and take over the world. And also change their grades. Harold snaps his fingers, transformation begins. Go into the treehouse, chill out for a bit. Everything's calm. Everything's quiet. And suddenly, there's a noise outside. Look outside and see what it could be, because George heard it too. Peek down really far into the treehouse. Ah! Ah! The woman, the strange, the evil-looking woman dressed in a tight purple vinyl and a mangy-looking boy climbed into the treehouse and began demanding answers from the boy. And the angry lady is Wedgie Woman. Oh! So anyway, and and George and what she knows that George and Harold knows Captain Underpants' secret identity. But unfortunately for the boys, they're not understanding the full gravity of the situation, so for either the boys who aren't understanding the full gravity of the situation, or Wedgie Woman who doesn't understand that Captain Underpants is just a cartoon. Oh, and isn't really real. Huh? Or is he? Attacks the boys by grabbing onto their wrists, possibly to hold them hostage, but George and Harold outwit her and send her careening, where she knocks over some extra strength superpower juice, which gets into her hair. And the worst, what could the worst could possibly do? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I wish I had like a keyboard with me so I could stop making these sounds with my mouth. But anyway, Wedgie Woman takes them hostage, as you do, takes them to her home and holds them hostage, as you do. I was still trying to get the secret identity of Captain Underpants, but then decides, you know what, it's not worth it. Let's build some robots. So she starts taking upon her apply. The house, George and Harold are like, wait, what are you doing, lady? And it turns out Miss Ripple's actually really smart because some of that extra strength superpower juice got soaked into her brain. And just look at this image. Oh my gosh, there is so much going on. I'm not quite sure what that says, to be honest. But she built the Robo George and the Herald 2000. Remember that now. She gives them each a can of spray starch and sends them off to school. Well, as soon as they hear tra-la-la, it's all over. Uh-oh. Mr. Krebs substitutes for Miss Ripple because, she's not in at the moment. Either both metaphorically and literally. And Mr. Rip notices that George and Harold are awfully nice. And they're gonna get in trouble for being on behavior. I don't understand the series sometimes. The Herald box kicks the soccer ball straight the page. Rip! Yeah, there is a hole in this page now. Oh my gosh. And then Mr. Krebs gets him in trouble for it. But, guess what happens? He turns into Captain Underpants. And it's with a triumphant tra-la-la. In case you didn't know, whenever the Robo George and the Herald 2000 heard that, they would turn into evil giant robots. Dun dun dun. And Melvin's there being a stick in the bed because, well, he's Melvin. And Wedgie Woman fashions a TV out of a toothbrush, fish tank, and an electric toothbrush. I mean, it's pretty high quality, so that's good, I guess. And then the robot has sprayed Captain Underpants with spray starts, and he loses all of his superpowers and is hanged from the city flagpole. Whew. Wedgie Woman sets up a trap in order for George and Harold to possibly die, but it doesn't kill him. I swear, it's like she planned it to be that way. Huh. Anyway, she congratulates her robots for doing such a good job, pulls a Wedgie in. So Bull keeps pulling it, giving everyone in the world a big edgy. He the army, the Marines, and a hairstylist. I guess a hairstylist was unavailable because we only see the armies and the marines, at least supposedly. And Witchy Woman's just way too fast for everyone, and she takes over and begins her world domination. Oh, fun fact. She's actually saying wedgie power with her hand. I thought it was kind of cool. Well, my brother pointed that out. DC, I think it's like called. He has a YouTube. I think it's called Trans's Lair. Go check it out if you haven't. And consider subscribing to him and subscribe to me if you like. I don't know. Anyways, George and Harold had to come up with a plan fast. So they went to Captain Underpants, tried to talk him down, and then decided to get fabric softener, but the close enough doesn't even sell it. Everything except fabric softener. You have everything except fabric softener. Oh my gosh. I think the Netflix series tried to implement this, but anyway, George and Harold decided to go ahead and make a comic book instead, and we get the origin of Captain Underpants. I'm not going to share like the whole thing with you, even though it's wonderful, it's beautiful, and at least I think you should read it for yourself if you need to. But the most important thing is that the amulet, Captain Underpants has this thing called the Amulet of Underpanty World, and in order to free himself from Space Shot, all he has to do is say the words, "I summon the power of Underpanty World," and he will be free. And so he just has to say the words. He just has to say the words. He just has to say the words. Yay, he said the words. And now he's flying again. And then he decides to beat the tar out of George. Out of these two robots. Now this is incredibly graphic, so I'm gonna skip. it. So and for the most important part. Anyway, Wedge Humans freaked out. Wow, that is way out of proportion. And then George and Harold split ways for a bit. Harold has a hypno ring, and George has extra strength space parts, which when dry grabs 9 cans of it, sprays it all over the place. This big cloud! And now all her hands are gone. It turned out it wasn't super space parts, it was hair removal. And Harold is horrified. But the day is safe. George is to re-hypnotize their teacher, this time using reverse psychology, as we learned earlier in the book. Okay. And the day is saved. And now Miss Ribble's a lot happy. Here. You're making chocolate chip cookies for everybody in the class. Yes. Yes, and sometimes hypnosis can be a good thing, and sometimes, it's not. Oh no, here we go again. Tra-la-la. The end. Now, you're probably wondering why this episode took so long to make. It's so low quality. I'm just in a different room in my own home. It shouldn't have taken this long to upload. Well, actually, I had been thinking. I actually like this book a lot. I cut out a lot of the intricate details because they're not really that important. But I wanted to break down the why Would You Win was my favorite villain. And if you want to see that video, leave this video a like. So you can see why it took me so long to get out already and just do book 5. I'm not going to do 3 in a row, because next one is going to be a 2-part series. It's going to be a long one, maybe even longer than this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out, my peeps. And stop.